There's one thing that puts hell on high alert. It's not the sound of your words or the volume of your voice. It's something deeper and far more dangerous. Something that destroys dark plans, breaks down invisible strategies, and sends the enemy running without looking back. The devil isn't afraid of those who shout the loudest. He fears those who understand the deepest. And no one understood this better than Solomon. The wisest man who ever lived knew that true spiritual warfare isn't fought with sheer strength or emotion. It's fought with applied divine wisdom. Today, you're going to discover which verses from Solomon's wisdom the enemy desperately tries to keep hidden, because he knows that if you start using them, he won't be able to withstand them. Get ready. It's time to learn the spiritual weapons hidden in the ancient wisdom of Scripture. Weapons that will turn you from a target into a warrior, from a victim into a victor. Are you ready to use what hell fears most? Proverbs 9:10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. This is the verse that disarms pride, breaks arrogance, and blocks the spirit of rebellion. The fear of the Lord is more than respect. It's a deep reverence that shapes decisions, thoughts, and actions. And for the devil, that's a serious problem, because where there is the fear of God, there are no open doors for him to enter. The enemy works best when humans feel like they're in control, when they think they know it all, can do it all, and no longer need to listen to God's voice. That's how he operated in Eden, and that's still how he operates today. But Solomon made it clear from the start, if you want true wisdom and real spiritual authority, it all begins with fear of the Lord. This verse terrifies hell because it declares an unshakable truth. Those who fear God don't fear the devil. Use this verse as a declaration. Today I choose to fear the Lord. My mind, my choices, and my steps are guided by his wisdom, not by the enemy's lies. Proverbs 4:23, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. This verse is a spiritual fortress. With all his wisdom, Solomon didn't say, guard your possessions, guard your reputation, or guard your appearance. He said, guard your heart, because everything flows from it, and the enemy knows that. That's why he tries to contaminate the heart with bitterness, twisted desires, pride, anxiety, and vanity. He doesn't need to destroy your whole life at once. He just needs access to your heart. This verse terrifies the devil because it exposes the true center of spiritual warfare. The battlefield isn't outside, it's within. When you protect your heart with vigilance, prayer, and discernment, you cut off the root of the enemy's influence. Use this verse as a spiritual shield. Declare, my heart is guarded by the Spirit of God. No emotional attack, no lie from the enemy will have a place inside of me. The devil doesn't fear high walls. He fears a heart sealed by the wisdom of God. Proverbs 18 verse 21, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. This verse is like a double-edged sword, and the devil knows it. He knows he doesn't have to attack you physically if he can get you to speak defeat with your own mouth. Words carry spiritual weight. And Solomon, with divine wisdom, warns us, your tongue has the power to build or destroy, to release blessing or open spiritual doors. The enemy trembles when someone understands this principle, because they realize that the mouth isn't just a tool for communication. It's a weapon of warfare. When you speak life, faith, promises, and authority, darkness retreats. But when you complain, curse, or agree with fear, you surrender ground. This verse terrified the devil in Solomon's time, and even today he panics when someone speaks with wisdom and faith. Declare boldly, my words are guided by the Spirit. I speak life, deliverance, protection, and victory, and the enemy will have no place in what I declare. Hell fears a tongue aligned with heaven. Proverbs 28:13. Whoever conceals their sins does not prosper, but the one who confesses and renounces them finds mercy. This verse destroys one of the enemy's favorite strategies, silent guilt. The devil operates in the shadows. He feeds off what's hidden, what's covered up, what you're afraid to expose. As long as you keep sin a secret, he keeps control. But Solomon reveals a powerful spiritual truth. Confession sets you free. Transparency paralyzes the accuser. This verse terrifies the devil because when you confess, he loses his grip. Shame becomes healing. Guilt becomes grace. The cycle is broken. The enemy wants you to believe that hiding is protection. But God says, confess, turn away, and receive mercy. Use this verse as a declaration of freedom. I'm not hiding anything anymore. I bring into the light what was once in darkness, and in place of guilt, I receive mercy. Today, I am free. The devil fears the moment you stop hiding and start being restored. Ecclesiastes 12:13. Now all has been heard. Here is the conclusion of the matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the duty of all mankind. This verse is the closing statement of Solomon's life, and hell hates every word of it. After experiencing pleasure, wealth, wisdom, power, and influence, Solomon ends with a simple and unshakable truth. The purpose of humanity is to fear God and obey him. The devil will do everything he can to distract you from this. He wants you to search for meaning in everything, except what actually matters. But this verse shatters the illusion. It exposes what the enemy desperately hopes you'll never discover, that everything outside of obedience is meaningless. When you fear God and walk according to his commands, you walk in light, and darkness cannot touch those who walk in the light. Use this verse as your compass. Declare, my purpose is to fear the Lord. I will not be led by desires, distractions, or empty promises. My life is aligned with the will of God. The devil fears those who know why they live and live for what God has said. You've just discovered 5 verses from Solomon that aren't just advice, they're spiritual weapons. Each one exposes a tactic of the enemy and reveals how to defeat it through wisdom. And that's exactly why the devil fears them, because he knows that anyone who lives by this truth can't be manipulated, can't be broken, and won't walk blindly. Solomon didn't just write Proverbs, he left behind spiritual maps. And now those maps are in your hands. It's not enough to know them, you have to use them. Declare them, meditate on them, live them. Verses are seeds, but faith turns them into swords. And remember, hell doesn't fear those who carry a Bible. It fears those who live what's written in it.